Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we're super happy to have you here. And if you've been listening and enjoying for a while, I would be super grateful if you would please take a moment to give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's one of the best and simplest ways to pay it forward and help others find the show so that they too can tap into the powerful perspectives and positive vibrations we are collectively emanating. The other unique and magical way to share this show is by sending any friends you think would benefit from listening to this podcast our Game with the Universe link at positivehead.com/game. Also listed in the show notes, which will serve them up a quote unquote random episode when they click it. Just instruct them before clicking the link to close their eyes for a moment and sincerely ask the universe to cue up the episode that contains the insight and perspectives that they most need to hear at this point in their life journey, and then click to listen to whatever episode is synchronistically served up to them. I have heard time and time again from people about the incredible results they received playing the game. So just tell your friends magical results are guaranteed or their karma back. All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Here we go again. Back at it here this fine Monday. And today I am going to do something I don't think I've ever done before. I don't recall ever doing. And I've done something similar, and that is pull from an oracle deck. So I have done the Untethered Soul deck where it just gives quotes from the book and kind of wax poetic about my thoughts and feelings around the card. This is a little different. Today, what I'm going to do is I've got a deck called Sacred Rebels Oracle, which I really like. It's got epic artwork by Autumn Sky and Alana. I think I'm saying it right. Alana Fairchild is the author. And I had this deck for a while. Actually, my son gifted it to me, birthday, holiday, something in the last year or so. And I've just really, really enjoyed this deck and pulling from it. And so today I was thinking as I went in to record what I would talk about and what I would do and how I was feeling the desire for something really organic and way to play with the universe and see what how the universe can meet us halfway with what the content's going to be. And that's what I've always loved about reading from the Untethered Soul. And I thought, you know what, let's pull a card from the Oracle deck and I'll just read. All of the readings are super amazing. And when you, in the actual little book that comes with it, and then of course I can just kind of talk about whatever comes up for me as well. And what's cool about this is if you think about it as we step into this journey together, and you see people doing this sort of thing on social media as well. And what I like about it is you start thinking of the intelligence, the hyper intelligence of the universe, and the fact that source, higher self, the universe knows exactly who is going to hear this broadcast. And let's say this particular episode is playing for 1,000 years or longer, right? Even those people in the timeless no state, in the state of now, ever nowness, everyone who's going to hear this, we're sort of connected in some unique way, right? And the card that will come through will be an energetic representation of what all of us need to hear, and in the moment that we're listening. So even the person listening 1,000 years from now is receiving it in perfect divine timing for them, and that intelligence is encoded into the quote unquote random pull that I'm going to be doing here in a moment. That's fascinating to think about, right? To think about how hyper intelligence source is, the universe is, our higher self is. And whenever we're second guessing, what's happening in our lives, to just kind of think of that, and really you look at all the stuff that's happening with AI right now, and it's a great reflection of, oh my gosh, the cat's out of the bag. We're talking about hyper intelligence beyond anything we can imagine, where, we're going to feed every doctor consultation and doctor's mind into a AI doctor who can diagnose you and knows all of your chart and everything about your history and take all that and synthesize your personal information with all the information that's ever been out there and give you the perfect sort of feedback. It's like this hyper intelligence. And that is a reflection, just like our intelligence is a reflection, just like, a dog's level of intelligence is different levels of intelligence and how advanced it can get. And whenever we're playing with the universe in this way, we're sort of accessing this other level of intelligence beyond our human level brain and capacity. And we're meeting it halfway. We're playing with it. We're inviting it in. So yeah, let's invite, shall we? I'm going to shuffle it here. Once again, this is the Sacred Rebels Oracle. It says Guidance for Living and a Unique and Authentic Life by Alana Fairchild. And let's see here. And I'm going to just pull one at first and read it, and then just, very in a very flow state, see where that leaves us. If I have more I want to talk about on my own, or if I want to pull another card. Okay, and as I am shuffling, I am asking the universe to send the ideal card that will provide the highest impact to every soul who will, and from the grandest perspective, is currently listening to this reading. It's all happening now, right? So everyone who will be impacted, I wish, and I'm calling in the most useful piece of information and feedback about who we are, where we're at in our eternal journey that will help lead us to the next greatest and grandest versions of ourselves. And here comes a card. Da, da, da. Ooh, I've pulled this one a few times, actually. It's funny how, if you've noticed, if you have Oracle card decks of your own, the same ones show up. Like I don't know how many cards are in this deck, actually. Maybe it's 52, like a 52 playing card deck, but not sure. It looks like about that, just at glance. But, what are the odds of pulling the same one? Like, I've pulled this one a very high percentage of the time. The number of pulls I've had on this deck, this one would have to be like way higher than what the chances would be. Definitely way higher. And are you ready? I'm going to explain what's on the card. First is a picture. There's a picture of an owl peeking over the neck of a peacock, which has a crow peeking up at the owl. And then I think it's maybe a moon above that, or under that, I'm sorry. Then a very, a woman, a woman's face in deep meditation with some cool, like, head dress kind of, it looks like even a bird skull maybe on her third eye. And just very, if you've ever seen Autumn Skies art, if not, look it up. And this one is a beautiful, beautiful card. It's called Visions of Life Beyond Death. It's card number 44. So you could always Google, and maybe I haven't tried it, but I imagine it would come up. Visions of Life Beyond Death, card 44 from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. Very beautiful. Okay, I'm going to set that right here in front of me, and I'm going to read from the book. And this, my friends, all of us who are tied in this very, very unique way of hearing this particular broadcast, this card is perfectly for us. And here's what it has to say. Sacred vision is awakening within you. You are becoming blessed with the ability to truly see what is real rather than what appears to be. This is true insight. What was once considered consequential may soon be found to hold little consequence after all. What was once dismissed as an irritation or irrelevance may be seen to have great spiritual significance. As mundane as something once appeared, it could now be worthy of absolute attention. The gift of genuine vision takes you into the being of the universal creator. This is sacred terrain beyond logic, convention, and that which is limited in any way. The more open you are to receiving true vision, the more love you will feel and recognize within and around you. Something may appear to change form, to be shed, to be lost, or to die, but there is love within it always. This realization doesn't remove the pain of the loss. It does provide a way through which it can be healed and eventually transformed into peace. The vision of love, the truth of all that is, can move us more than anything else possibly can. If you have been wondering about your life path or whether you should take action on a project, or you need inspiration to really move you out of a slump you have fallen into, then this oracle brings you a message of hope. You will receive your vision. You will be graced with a way out of the stagnancy. You will be able to see things differently and more accurately. Any confusion or uncertainty you have felt is going to pass, and you will be left with clear insight. The stories you have been feeding yourself, or telling yourself may end up looking different to how they appear now. May end up looking different to how they appear now. This may surprise you, but the vision that is coming to you will be more truthful and therefore freeing. It will be worth the shock, surprise, or the moment of embarrassment when you realize you have been operating under a false assurance or deluding yourself about the truth of a situation. Those moments will pass, and they are not something to feel bad about. They signify that you are leaving behind a smaller view for a more expansive one. They are a sign that you have outgrown your old vision in order to live in a bigger one. This is good. There might be a moment when your ego feels a bit dented, but sure enough, that too will pass. This oracle comes with additional guidance for you. You are watched over by life and held in protection. Whatever has been bothering you will not be able to harm you. You will prevail. If you are concerned that someone is getting away with something or blocking your path and it seems there is nothing you can do about it, don't worry. The all-seeing eye of life perceives everything, without exception. It is the universal mother, with eyes not only in the back of her head, but in every living cell of life itself. She misses nothing. And the truth of her vision will always be met with justice, mercy, and wisdom. Before we continue on with today's episode, for those of you interested in getting more fantastic fungi in your life, I want to take a quick moment to tell you about a friend of mine's brand new company, The Great Mother. Recently, I have been drinking The Great Mother's superfood mushroom coffee alternative called Ritual, as well as regularly taking their awesome Ally microdoses, and I am truly loving both. As you probably know, these days, many of the world's highest achievers and performers swear by microdosing. The problem is it can still be difficult to get a hold of magic mushrooms. That's why when my friend reached out, who lives in an area and country where legalization is not a problem like it was in the past, and said he'd be willing to offer microdoses to my listeners, I wanted to pass the word along. Ally microdoses are 100% organic. And in addition to a small amount of the magic active ingredient, they also contain functional mushrooms like lion's mane, cordyceps, chaga, and other brain boosters like bacopa. Ally is essentially a full spectrum nootropic. And of course, the coffee alternative Ritual doesn't contain magic mushrooms, but it has an array of the best organic functional mushrooms in the world. And, with functional mushrooms, it's really important to get them from the highest integrity sources. And whereas some other highly popular mushroom coffee alternatives on the market only contain a few varieties of functional mushrooms in their actual ingredients, Ritual has 7. Not only does it contain more types, it also contains 3 to 4 times the amount that the big brands have in each serving. And it tastes amazing. I actually like to have it on its own, as well as mixing it into my coffee sometimes as well. However, since this is definitely a unique offering, there are a few steps. First, just reach out and request to follow the private page, thegreat.mother on Instagram. Once you've been accepted to follow, just message what you're interested in getting and someone will get back to you. This oracle is also asking you to shift your perspective and look at an issue of concern a little differently. If you don't know how to do this, simply add the following statement to the end of the healing process below. I call upon the universal eye to show me the most helpful way to see the situation of concern now. In shifting how you look at things, the energy in what is beheld changes. You can see this with people. When you shame and judge someone, they react differently to when they are loved and encouraged. They may succeed nonetheless, but the journey to the success will be different. Looking at something through the eyes of love rather than fear can help us find our way more quickly, easily, and enjoyably. This oracle comes with the additional message that your ability to perceive is expanding into truth. Your ability to be inspired and see the light in all things is unfolding. It must be nourished in your heart with loving acceptance because you are going to help others through your vision, your art, and how you choose to be in the world. The healing process below will help you accept and anchor this developing gift. Cool. Here's the healing process. Say aloud, I now release any fear I have associated with seeing the truth, with seeing beyond the veil of illusion, or with my inner vision opening up. From my heart, mind, and body, I release any wounding I have received in relation to what I have witnessed at any time, especially where it is based in the fearful responses of others. I ask that my vision be restored to its fullness through compassion and unconditional love. So be it. Close your eyes. Imagine love pouring down from the universe straight into your head, reaching behind your eyes and feeling really good. When you have had enough of this, simply open your eyes and imagine you can breathe or exhale any excess energy gently out through them. Then you have finished your healing process. I love this. This is a good one. Yeah, like I may have pulled this one more than any other card in the year or so I've had this deck. I think it's probably a year, maybe only 6 months actually. Maybe it was my birthday that I got this gifted. But yeah, so this one is obviously very meant for me and meant for you now that we're sharing it together. But I love this statement in the middle of it, and it's the first time it's really stuck out because I've read this entry before, and this time it really jumped out at me though. Whenever you're dealing with any situation, I call upon the universal eye to show me the most helpful way to see this situation of concern now. Like calling in the highest and grandest vision, like speaking it out into the world, calling it in, summoning. I summon the universal eye to show me the most helpful way to see this situation of concern now. That universal eye is yours. Summoning it is your power. It is your right. We are entitled to do so. And, as they say, angels come flying to your aid once you beckon them. Like, are you using your powers to call in the things, that the tools that are waiting for you to realize, asking it, as Abraham Hicks' book, asking it is given, or what is that originally from the Bible, right? Seeking ye shall find. And that's really like, are we seeking? Are we asking? Are we summoning? Are we calling in these tools that are there? And I think that's I like referencing it as the universal eye. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to remember that one for sure. Calling upon the universal eye. And time to step into this version of ourselves where we see and understand more. It's one thing to understand it mentally. This podcast is a lot about, hey, here's the perspectives. Here they are. You can feel them. You can hear them. Now, how do we even feel them more deeply? See them. See in full experience, the next level of experience. And I think that's what we're all stepping into. And of course, it's always baby steps. If you were plugged straight into the socket of source, you would probably overload pretty quickly. But if you're ramped up slowly, it's like a frog. You can put it in boil. This is kind of a bad example, but it gets the point across. You put a frog in boiling water, it tries to jump out. It goes crazy. If you put it in regular water and turn on the heat, and over time it boils, it acclimates as it gets warmer. And that's what we're doing. We're acclimating to, if you think of us as electrical bodies, we are electrical beings, right? You are pure energy. Your cells are pure energy. And if you're going to turn up the voltage, right, it has to be, there's a process to that so that you don't overload your system. And that's what we're doing. And what this card to me is really saying is, hey, it's time for another level. We're going to turn it up. We're turning up the volume. You're ready to see more. You're ready to perceive more. You're ready to be more aligned with the universal eye, which is an extension of you. You can handle it. You've done the groundwork. Congratulations. So any of us hearing this one, like I said, the fact that this has been such a common pull for me, and here now being exclamated by being pulled, on this episode of the podcast, first time ever doing an oracle pull like this that I recall. Pretty cool, pretty exciting. So I am grateful to be with each and every one of you at this same stage in our journey, sharing this moment, sharing this vision of life beyond death, vision of life beyond the veil of just physical illusion. And it's such a pleasure, such an honor. And with that being said, I have a song to leave you with. This is I love this track. It actually, it's sort of like, in this case, it's maybe a slight extension of the podcast, because it's not just a song. There's Alan Watts dialogue woven into it that's super powerful. So I will leave you with that. It's called the song is called Bergs, and the artist is Mount Wolf, and Alan Watts is who you'll hear talking in it. Till next time, journey well. Love you so much.
I think if I could get you to do one thing, I would say when you get to the point that you really feel highly motivated to just towards keeping your virtue, then you'll discover quite quickly just how extraordinary a life was meant to be and could be. And it's just we get so messy. It's not that we're doing lots of wrong things, but our mind is so messy. We don't keep it simple, and we end up making the life that we're living so inordinately complicated and completely unnecessarily. And it's such a shame to end up feeling in a real muddle when actually you ought to be having the time of your lives. It doesn't actually take very much to make the deepest part of us incredibly happy. You know, just to be here, just to appreciate being here. To feel that you're alive, to be in touch with your heart. That's it. That's it. It takes mindfulness to come to a human life. And then above that, it takes mindfulness and virtue to come to a fortunate human life. to be part of this happens briefly. The invitation is not to show how inventive and imaginative you are, but how much you can notice what you're already part of. And appreciate it and share it. And care about those that are around. Look out for their welfare while you're looking out for your own. That's it. And then you'll get to the end of it having had an awesome time, knowing that that was something you'd recommend to others. You all know this place inside where it's all right. You all know that when you let the ego go, it's not this black hole that you drop into. You all know it. Why can't you do it? You know, the world is creaking under the strain of this enormously complicated mass of humanity. And actually, you know, it's really simple. You know, when you came here with a sense of awe and wonder, dying to just see what it's all about. You know, it's like, what would it be like to be down there, to be part of it? And you came here with this sense of wonder, and somehow the wonder of it wasn't enough, or you stopped wondering at it and started wondering about yourself. And in your wondering about yourself, you forgot what you came here for, what you came to be a part of.